Hi, my name is Reg Gupton, and you might wonder what gives me the right to speak to you about the subject I'm going to be speaking to you here in the next 3-4 minutes. Well, I've been a successful small business real estate coach for 13 years, and I sold real estate for 20, and I was a speaker for state, local, and national real estate and other trade groups and associations for almost 30 years. And I was a senior instructor for the Council for Residential Specialists, and guess what I taught? Business planning. So I want to talk with you about how I got the idea to do this. When I got licensed in 1980, I was trying to sort through all of the myriad of lead generation strategies that we were told would work, looking for the best of the best. And so that I could fund my lifestyle without working 90 hours a week. I'm guessing that resonates with you too. There's so many things that we're told we can do, and the question is, how do I find out those things that really will work? About 6 or 7 years into the business, my then broker sales manager said, to the office, you all ought to send Christmas cards to your past clients. So I said, okay, that's a really great idea. And what I decided to do, and I'm a fun-loving guy, I sat down with a stack of files, Christmas cards and envelopes, and a few beers. I figured, hey, I might as well have fun doing this while I'm working on it. And what I found is that about half the people who I'd done business with in those early years, I didn't even like. And I thought, there's something wrong with this picture. And I'm a numbers guy. I'm a recovering MBA. Part of my graduate work was in quantitative methods. So I believe that there's power in data, that there are patterns in data. So I sat down with 13-column accounting paper and made a list of all the clients that I'd had, and then across the top I spread them with how did I get them, were the transactions big or small, were they buyers or sellers, just how did they happen. And I have to tell you, I was really shocked. What I learned that was a few things that are important. I learned that intrinsically, normally, naturally, I had created some niches that I wanted to work in, and I thought, okay, this is some powerful information. And I learned then about the 80-20 rule. That is 20% of your effort produce 80% of your results. I want to go back and say that again. 20% of your effort, the money you invest, the time you spend, produces 80% of the results you get in your life. And if you're a salesperson, 80% of the sales. So I looked at the business planning models, the way we taught business planning before, and what I found was they're either too simple, really too simple, or they're too complicated. Either, that there are 6 numbers that you produce, or only an engineer or an unrecovered accountant could love them. So when we taught you business planning on the street and in classes, what you got was, we got you to the place of how many transactions you needed to do, but we didn't talk about how you got there. So we didn't have conversion rates, we didn't have anything about boundaries, we didn't have action steps, and nothing went to your calendar. So I decided that we needed to do something better. So I set out working on this almost 20 years ago. And what I have for you today is an Excel spreadsheet that I've created over these 20 years. And it's 25 pages, and it is easy to use, fill in the blanks with a complete set of instructions. Now here's some of the 25 pages, and not all. One of the things we're going to talk about, because I've observed in my own life and in my clients' lives over the 13 years I've been coaching, is that there are no boundaries. When people get their real estate license, they give up the ability to say no, and they believe they need to work 24/7. I think that's crazy. So the first thing we'll do in this business plan guide is we'll walk you through the important dates in the year and have you work to create with your family those times when you're not going to work. Next, we're going to work on something called a life goal planning. So there are 8 segments in your life. I won't go over those today. And we're going to make sure that your life is well-rounded. And then next, there are 3 numbers you need to figure out how many transactions you need. Ready? Here they are. One is, how much does it cost to run my home or personal life, including savings and retirement? Remember, this is about funding your lifestyle. So again, how much money does it cost to run my home and my personal life, including savings and retirement, so you don't work till you're 90 and then walk away from the business? The second is, how much money does it take to run my business? And the third is, how much money does it take to market my business? So the three numbers again are home and personal life, how much money to run my business and operating budget, and then last is a marketing budget. And then one of the things I learned is that, like I did before with the 13-column accounting paper, you need a transaction log. You need to figure out where your business has come from, things that you have done in your career that have proven to be successful. One of my favorite aphorisms is from Tony Robbins, and he says, success leaves clues. So success leaves clues in your life too. If you're newer to the business and haven't had a lot of transactions, then the National Association of Realtors has been doing a survey for years and years and years that tells how it is that the public finds their realtor, how it is that they choose their agent. And from those things we'll get to how many transactions you need to do to earn the money that you need to fund the three areas, remember, marketing, operating budget, and your personal life. And then the next step is to pick target markets or initiatives so that you work narrow and deep versus wide and shallow. I learned that statement. I've been trying to figure out how to talk to people about this for about 15 years. I heard a woman on a webinar a few months back, and she talked about wide and shallow versus narrow and deep. And what I see in all kinds of businesses, whether it be real estate or mortgage or retail or others, is that people work wide and shallow. They do marketing type A, and they do marketing B, and they do marketing C, and they do marketing D and E and F and G, rather than picking one or two at a time and really honing in on those and having those work. So here's what I ask you to do in this guide is pick no less than 3 initiatives, no more than 6, and we'll include the number of, in the target audience, the investment that you need to invest in this initiative or this market, and then how many transactions you are going to close from this transaction. We now have conversion rates. For example, I know how many transactions you can expect per 100 people in your database to whom you contact about 25 to 30 times a year. I know how many transactions you're going to do. So we have conversion rates. Then next is we're going to convert those initiatives or action steps, and we're going to put them in your calendar. So what you end up with is a 25, 26 page Excel spreadsheet, the last page of which is the action items that you're going to do, and then you transfer those to your calendar so that you can then be held, even if it's just you can be held accountable. And when you make an investment in this business planning guide, you're going to get some bonuses too. One is, I found out that it is pretty easy to, and I've written an ebook called How to Mine the Gold in Your Own Backyard. It's 29 tips to help you sell more efficiently to existing customers and clients. I also have another ebook that will give you, which is How to Use LinkedIn in 6 Easy Steps. And I know a lot of you think you need to use LinkedIn. You do. But you don't know how to do it or what to do about that. I interviewed somebody who happens to not be in the real estate business, but he was getting 55 to 60% of his business from interacting with LinkedIn, and we have an ebook that talks about that. Next, you're going to get the do's and don'ts to have your best real estate year ever in real estate. I don't care if you're new, I don't care if you're experienced, I don't care if you've been in it 5 months or 50 years. There's some things that you can do that are better than others. And then the last bonus that you get is, I was interviewed by a friend of mine on how to launch or relaunch your real estate business. And it is an audio transcription of a 45-minute interview on the web where I was interviewed by this friend of mine, and you get those. This is a bonus too. And in addition to that, to top it all off, once you get your plan written, then I'm willing to sit down with you by phone or in person, as the case may be, and review your plan after you have it written, and give you some feedback with all the plans that I've reviewed over the last, 20 years, I guess. And you might ask, what's the investment for all of this? Well, the investment is $97. And I want you to pay attention to that and think about what you could gain if you used it. And in order to take action and to make yourself have access to this tool, what you need to do is at the bottom of this screen, there will be a website for you to visit. I hope you'll visit it. I hope you'll take advantage of this offer, and I look forward to helping you out.